The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome, everybody, to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can download the Radio Lex app on your smartphone device, or stream us from the web at radiolex.us. Amber Turner and I are both broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. Amber, if you could just please take my gum and toss it.
Well,
toss it in the trash,
this
please.
Workplace hazard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody else who would literally take the gum out of my hand and throw it away, but I appreciate that. I can't do a radio show with gum in my mouth, so I really do appreciate it. It is Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th, 2022. Do you have any plans to go out and eat Mexican food today?
I fully intend on indulging in some tacos and maybe some margaritas at home.
I bet you cannot get into a Mexican restaurant right
now.
Absolutely
not.
I would say there is a plethora of margaritas going out right now.
Oh, we're going to have a shortage probably by the end of the day.
So as you sip on the margaritas and you listen to the show today during Cinco de Mayo, welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, this is the hottest talk radio show in Lexington. It is May the 5th. It's Thursday, which means it's Mother's Day weekend. And a shout out to all the wonderful moms out there. I usually go home on this weekend to spend with my mom, but this year's a little different. My mom is coming to Lexington this year to visit me. She will actually be here sometime after the show.
Okay.
Very excited. I've already got the gift out of the way.
Oh, yes.
I've already got that bought, ready to give it to her. I'm prepared. I'm very prepared, and I'm excited to celebrate my mother. And Amber, I was watching Netflix yesterday, and Netflix has the top 10 things that they show usually that's trending.
Yeah.
One of the things that was trending on Netflix is the movie Forrest Gump.
Oh, that's a good one.
A classic, a cult classic. It's a great movie, maybe one of the greatest films of all time. And I bring it up because I was watching it, and I was just admiring how good of a mother that Mrs. Gump was from Forrest Gump.
Oh, good old Sally Fields. Yes.
Well, not only was it portrayed by one of the greatest actresses of our time, Sally Field, but she was just such a good her character in the movie was such a good character. You got to think, she was almost the quintessential movie mom.
No, I agree with you.
She, Forrest had a bunch of physical problems.
Yeah, he had some physical disabilities.
He had some physical disabilities, and she always had wisdom for Forrest, letting him know that he is just as good as anybody else. He can do anything he wants to do. I mean, he quotes his mom at the very beginning of the movie. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
So Mama always said, you can tell where a person's been based off their shoes.
Yeah.
So just things that Mama would say, and wouldn't you agree, Forrest is very wise?
I would say probably one of the wisest.
So Sally Field, Mrs. Gump, was such a good movie mom, and it made me start thinking of just movie moms that just stand out, that have just stood out throughout time when you watch them in films. And Mrs. Gump, Sally Field, is definitely one of them. Who comes to your mind when it comes to just a great movie mom?
Oh my goodness, I'm going to say this one. Probably, did you ever watch the horror comedy Serial Mom?
I have heard of that movie. So was she a good mother?
To her children, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, to everybody else, probably not.
Well, okay. So there you go. She was a good movie mom. So it made me start thinking of just some more good movie moms. You can't make a list of great movie moms without putting Leanne Toohey, not Julia, it was Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
She played Leanne Toohey, which was a true life mother in real life. And she portrayed her in the movie. What a great movie mom.
Yeah, was that The Blind Side?
The Blind Side, Mrs. Toohey was this rich, upper-class woman from Memphis, Tennessee. She had the world by the coattails. Her and her family was well known. They were boosters in the community. And they took in a kid who had nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. And she raised this kid as her own. She didn't have to do that.
No, she not only raised him, but she pushed him to be a better person.
Right. Look at the life that this Michael Orr got to live because of a great woman in his life that decided to become his mother.
Yeah, took a chance on him.
Who chose to be his mom.
Exactly.
And that's different when you can choose who you want your children to be.
Oh, man.
Another great movie mom is definitely, have you ever watched the movie Stepmom?
Yes.
Stepmom.
Yes.
We have to give it to both actresses in that movie.
That's what I was going to say.
The actual mother, Susan Sarandon, who played Jackie Harris, or Harrison, and then you got Julia Roberts, who was the stepmom in the movie, who was just as good. And if you want a good movie to watch on Mother's Day, and you just want a mother-themed movie,
and cry,
Stepmom is the best one for that.
Oh, yeah.
They were such good movie moms because, well, Susan Sarandon's character, Jackie Harrison, they portrayed her as the perfect mom.
Yes.
She never was late picking up her kids. She always had their lunches packed. She was like super mom.
On time and prompt.
And then Julia Roberts was portrayed as this character who was just this feisty, single, disorganized woman who was just who fell in love with this man who had kids, and which was Jackie's kids. Mm-hmm. And she had to step in and had to play the role of stepmom. And the movie's sad because we know that the real mom eventually dies from cancer, and Julia Roberts has to take over as the mom,
the actual mom.
But she fills that role so flawlessly, and it's portrayed by two wonderful actresses.
Oh yes.
Speaking of Julia Roberts, what about Erin Brockovich?
Ooh,
what a great mother she was! A woman who sacrificed her entire life by putting blood, sweat, and tears into a case to make a better life for her and her kids.
Yes.
I mean, she really did do that for her kids.
Well, I mean, especially if you know the story of Erin Brockovich, she wasn't just fighting for her kids. She was fighting for kids, in all the communities that were affected.
Another great movie mom is Rusty Dennis.
Rusty Dennis?
Cher from The Mask.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, Rusty Dennis is a true character as well. It was based off a true character, and she was portrayed by Cher. Now, The Mask is a movie from the 80s, and it portrays a woman and her son. And the son has a really terrible cosmetic disease, right?
Yes.
Where it makes his face sag.
Well, I think, oh, my goodness. Elephantitis, something like that.
And it makes his face droop.
Well, I think it caused deformalities, and it caused certain parts of his face to grow faster than it should.
Yes, and Rusty, she fights for her son unapologetically and makes sure that he gets the schooling he deserves, and just make sure that he doesn't feel out of place the best she can.
No, yeah. I mean, that I would have never even thought to put her on this list, but now that you mention it, I mean, that movie is that is the quintessential your mother fighting to get you something that you deserve.
Well, she won an Oscar for her role.
Much deserved.
For her portrayal as his mother, she won an actress for Best Actress.
Have you seen it?
An Oscar for Best Actress. No.
Oh, my goodness.
Should that be a Mother's Day movie I should watch with my mom?
Probably not with your mom. No, I don't know. I don't know if your mom would like that one too much, but add that into your list.
You'd be surprised. My mom likes movies like that.
Well, now look. I don't know about that one.
What about Jodie Foster in Panic Room when she played the mom in Panic Room? She played Meg Altman. She was the mother trying to protect her kid the whole time from these burglars that broke into the house.
Yep.
And she really sacrificed her life to protect her child.
Well, and I mean, they had to get out of there too, out of that room, and keep moving on.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great moms portrayed in movies. Especially, you got movies nowadays. What's that Halle Berry movie where she is chasing her son that got kidnapped the whole movie? And
I don't know about that.
It's called like The Call 911 or something like that. But yeah, you got great movies portraying moms, and I love it because moms need to be praised all the time.
Well,
honorable mentions for some great moms in movies. Noveline Nation from Where the Heart Is, played by Natalie Portman. Yeah, she had her baby in Walmart.
Yes.
And she found a way to
provide.
Mm-hmm. Yes. There is. What about Ellen Burstyn in The Exorcist when she played the mother of Linda Blair?
No.
I mean, you talk about a mom who was trying to get her daughter unpossessed.
Some help.
If your mom didn't care anything about you, she would have just let you just get possessed by the devil, right?
No, my mom would have got upset because I was making a mess up there in my room. That's the only reason she would have had the exorcism for me. What are you talking about?
But happy Mother's Day, ladies and gentlemen, to all the wonderful moms out there. It is a time to celebrate the great moms. Give them a kiss, give them a card, give them some flowers, and make sure that you spend some time with them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we still have lots more Off the Cuff to go. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Wade says on the show thread that it is his son Toby's birthday. Happy birthday to your son Toby. You gotta always mention the age of people when you want to shout out their birthday. So however old you are, Toby, happy birthday.
No.
It's not rude to ask people their age. It is a blessing to get older.
No, I agree with you, but what about sometimes you just want a quick happy birthday?
Not on Off the Cuff, though. If you want to shout out on Off the Cuff, you've got to say
I was trying. I was reaching.
Age. There is so much that I've been doing now because I am a homeowner, and one of the things that I'm trying to do is put up a fence.
Yeah.
Getting my quotes together.
How long is it taking you to put all this together?
It's a lot because I just have to get a fence. The neighbors are getting on my nerves more and more every day. And I feel blessed to be able to have a house. I do. There's nothing like having a house, getting to live on my own, because I do. I live by myself. Don't feel sorry for me.
No, it's beautiful.
I like it like that. I like it a little too much. Honestly, I've gotten too good at being alone.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at living by myself because, there are people out there that like to live alone, and there's people out there that cannot stand it.
No, I think somewhere I fall in between that.
There are people out there that absolutely have to have roommates.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with roommates when it's appropriate, but then there's sometimes when you get to a certain point in your life where you can't have roommates anymore.
Oh, 100%.
When you get to a certain age, like I'm at that age, to where I could never live with somebody again unless I am married to them.
I can feel you on that.
Or in a relationship to where it's going to lead in that direction.
No, I feel you. But sometimes I think that it's people who can't live by themselves. They're not comfortable with themselves. And then what they do is those turn out to be the worst people to live with.
Right. And I want to talk about this topic. I want to talk about the topic of roommates. And the reason I want to bring it up, and it's nothing personal from me, because my last roommate, he tunes in on the show all the time, Sean Powell. Him and I lived together, and he was the last roommate that I had in college, and I lived with him for about a year. And he was, and I'll go on record of saying, the chillest, most easiest guy to live with. We got along great. So, Sean, just know that this is not about you. People always think, I'm always directing things at them. He's very chill. He was not a problem to live with. But, we've all lived with people that are pretty difficult to live with.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not the only one that's probably lived with a difficult roommate. I'm sure you have lived with a difficult roommate before. And a lot of people have been dealing with difficult roommates. Living with a bad roommate can be a bad situation.
Oh,
because you
goodness.
share a space. You actually are sleeping, doing the most intimate thing you could possibly do in your life, sleep. Where you are completely vulnerable. You are going to sleep under the same roof as this person.
Oh, my goodness.
If they wanted to do something bad to you, they could. They live in your house.
Absolutely.
And they know where your things are. They have access.
Easy access.
Easy access to really mess you up. And what blows my mind about roommates is sometimes people will just live with anybody without even knowing them.
Oh, absolutely.
In order for me to move in with you and to live with you, we at least had to have known each other for 6 months. Mm-hmm. If people will put out ads looking for a roommate and then move in with somebody, that is completely crazy.
I mean, I get it if you're in a pinch and you are going to lose your place or something like that. I totally get it then. But people who willingly choose to continue to have that lifestyle, I don't understand that.
Right. And I was on one of my favorite websites in the world, Reddit, and Reddit was sharing some people's experience. They were sharing some of the worst things that they always hated about their roommate. And I would like to share with you, Amber, and the audience to see if any of you all can relate to some bad things that your roommate did, according to these people on Reddit. Did you have any roommates do this, or anybody at home, did you have any of your roommates do this? Does this remind you of any bad roommate? There's always the roommate who thinks you're made of money.
Yes.
And I'm talking about the roommate that they don't really know your whole financial situation. It's a perception they have of you. So they think that they can just, waste money by keeping lights on or throwing away dishes even.
Yeah, or shorten your rent a little bit, or
because
not even paying.
They're fine. They got money.
Yeah, they can handle it. Oh, mine was always, her mommy pays for it. No, my mommy pays for me, not me and you.
Yes, there's always the roommate, or there's always a roommate who does not know what a clean dish looks like.
Oh, goodness.
So because they will let things sit on the stove, or they'll let things sit in the sink for months. One time, people on Reddit, they'll also share pictures of what the roommate will do. And one roommate posted a little chalkboard on the fridge, and he was like, how many days the skillet has been dirty on the stove. And he was making a tally, and it was up to like 11 days.
Oh, gross.
11 days that a dirty skillet sat on the stove. That's laziness, that's inconsiderate, and that's disrespectful of the people that you live with.
Yes.
There's the roommate who never takes out the trash and lets it pile and pile and pile because they eventually know that you'll take it out.
Oh, yeah. See, the beauty about being married is I make my husband do that now, but no, that one,
There was always, some people said that they had a roommate who would make ice, but would never fill it up all the way.
What now?
Like the ice trays. They would use ice. Sometimes they would fill it up, and sometimes they would half fill it up, and it'd be like half-made ice.
Oh, my.
But yeah, those are annoyances. Those are little things, yes, but how inconsiderate. You're going to use the ice tray, get ice out of it, but not fill it back up.
Yeah.
Or when you do decide to put water in it, you don't fill it all the way up, and your roommate don't get a full block of ice like they made for you that you got. They have to get a little piece of ice because you only halfway filled it up.
I know it.
You have to be considerate. When you have a roommate, you have to think about those things. If you don't want to do those things, don't get a roommate.
No way.
Live by yourself.
Oh, you can't tell people that now.
There's always roommates that clearly don't pay bills, and you know it, like the water bill. And it's very inconsiderate when you and your roommate have an agreement, like, okay, I'll I'll pay this, and or you pay this, and I'll pay the water bill.
Oh,
and they know you're paying the water bill, so they'll just willy-nilly use the water whenever they want to because they're not paying for it. And they'll take long baths because they know they're not paying for it.
Oh, but like if, say you're splitting, I had a setup one time where I was going to split utilities and they were going to do groceries. Well, if you don't pay me, our utilities get shut off, and if the utilities are shut off, I have to spend extra money. So you're going to have to buy all the groceries and stuff like that. So it would literally come down to, we have nothing to eat and you're not wanting to pay for the water. You don't want to get the food. You don't want to pay for the water. Why are you here? Why are you even living with me?
What about the roommates who will do little things like they'll open cabinets and not close them when they're done?
I can't handle that.
Or they'll set the time on the microwave and they'll set it for 10 seconds, open it with 3 seconds to go and won't reset it. They'll just leave it like that. Or they'll get really close at doing something like changing the toilet paper on the roll, but they won't put it on the roll. They'll just set it beside the roll.
Oh, you want to see me just go insane do that?
I mean, it's those little things that can really just make you mad. Mm-hmm. This is why I don't live with people, folks, because stuff like that makes me mad. I would get upset. There's also one user shares on Reddit that he had a roommate that left him in a very hairy situation.
Oh, my, no.
Listen, folks. If you live in a place with somebody and you only have one bathroom and you have to share that bathroom, do not shave your pubic hair in the bathroom and leave it for everyone to see.
Especially on the sink.
Yes, because people brush their teeth there.
I have to brush my teeth over there. Mm-hmm. I do not want to be brushing my teeth and look down and see just all of, all your clippings.
Yeah, your
trimmings.
And you can always tell when it's that versus head hair.
Oh yeah, where that's from. I know where that's from. And if I get any of that in my mouth, this is going to be a bad situation.
I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. There is always that roommate, they say, that wants to come home drunk, be inconsiderate of your schedule, what you have to get up for. There's there's always roommates sometimes that choose violence out there, that always want to pick fights.
Yeah.
Those are bad roommates.
Oh my goodness. I just don't do roommates.
I know.
And the more that we talk about it, the more I'm realizing that is such the easier way to live life, is just no roommates.
Just no roommates.
No roommates. I'm not seeing any pros on the roommate list. I'm seeing all the cons.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that some of our audience has had roommates. And like Diego on the show thread, he says he hates it when they don't reset the microwave timer. I do too, Diego. I mean, that's one of the things that frustrates me to no end. I had a roommate.
I was going to say, what's your worst story? I'm curious.
But I had a roommate that would do those little bitty things, like open cabinets without closing them.
Yeah.
Or he would let the trash just build up.
Yeah.
Or he would not reset the microwave timer. Like, dude, I can't. I can't. Be a decent human being.
Which one do you draw the line at? Not taking the trash out or not resetting the microwave? Which one's the final straw?
The microwave.
Really?
The microwave, yes. The microwave, it does. I don't mind taking the trash out. I don't. It's a physical activity. I don't mind doing it. I never complain. It just sometimes it's ridiculous when you're waiting on me to do it and you won't do it.
No, I feel you.
Because there are people that will build a sculpture out of the trash before
wall of trash
before they take it out. So roommates, just not my bag, baby.
Not my cup of tea.
It's not. And maybe it is for you. Maybe it ain't. But sometimes we have them. Sometimes, I mean, there's good roommates out there.
Yeah, Piddle and Ralph are the greatest roommates I've ever had.
There you go. Sometimes the only roommate that you need in this life is a dog. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We'll be right back after these words. Welcome, everybody, back to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. What you are hearing is the theme for the Late Late Show with James Cordon. And I play it because James Corden said in one of his recent episodes of The Late Late Show that he will be bowing out as the Late Late Show host at the end of next year. He's calling it a good time to move on and see what else might be out there. So let's go ahead and take a listen to an audio clip of James Corden discussing his late night future. Let's take a listen.
So, before we go to break, I've some news of my own to share with you. 7.5 years ago, I started hosting this show. And there's no other way to put it. It has changed my life. I love it. I love all the people that work here. I am so proud of what we've achieved. It's been beyond my wildest dreams. So I'm happy to announce today that I've signed a new contract to carry on hosting the Late Late Show. Well, wait, hang on. Wait, because I appreciate it. That's really only half the story on this one. The other half is, the sadder news is I've decided to sign for one more year on the show, and that this will be my last year hosting the Late Late Show. Don't you dare. This will be my last year hosting the show. When I started this journey, it was always going to be just that. It was going to be a journey, an adventure. I never saw it as my final destination, and I never want this show to overstay its welcome in any way. I always want to love making it. And I really think in a year from now, that'll be a good time to move on and see what else might be out there, okay? But I got to tell you, we're not leaving today. We still have a year to go, and we are all determined to make this the best year we have ever had making this show. We are going to go out with a bang. There's going to be carpools and crosswalks and sketches and other surprises, and there'll be tears. There'll be so many tears. Because this has been the hardest decision I've ever had to make. It really has. I've never taken this job for granted, ever. Not once. And the fact that you watch us at home or you watch us online, wherever you are, all over the world, the fact that we get to try and entertain you and spend time with you is an absolute privilege for me and every single person who makes this show.
All right, we'll stop it there. So he is obviously retiring. He's stepping down. He says he wants to do more things. When I first heard the news, the first thing that popped in my mind was, hello, there is a job opening.
Yes.
And that job opening is for me. That is my show.
Yes.
The Late Late Show is my cup of tea. That right there is what I need to be doing. So we need to figure out how to get me connected to CBS, because I, Amber, could be the next host of The Late Late Show. Hey, I've already got the experience.
Yes.
I've already hosted live television before.
Absolutely.
On ABC 36. I've hosted a live radio show for the last 3 years.
Beautiful wardrobe.
Give me a chance. Yes. I would be the best. I would be the best dressed man on late night.
Yes, best dressed.
Give me a chance to host the Late Late Show, and you guys won't even remember what carpool karaoke is.
No, you'll have people in there just full-blown singing, sitting in the audience.
I've always loved the format of late night. We've talked about the format of late night on this show before, and you can check that out in our archives. But I've been fascinated with the late night, the little desk, sitting with the city background in the back, and you got the guests coming out. Nighttime is when you can let your hair down. You can get away with more things. You can say things more edgy.
Yeah.
You can be more provocative at night. It is a really different pace at night. When you are doing a show at night, it's completely it's different television.
It's almost more realistic when it's at night.
It is. You feel more intimate. I mean, a lot of people, yes, this particular show comes on at 12:30 at night. This is a late show. That's why it's called why it's called Late Late. But this would be a great show to host. I would love to be the new host of it. But James Corden, he is leaving. He says that he wants to pursue other opportunities. He's done things while he's hosted this show. He's done Cats.
I don't think he wants people to mention that one.
Unfortunately. He did Peter Rabbit, he did Cinderella, and he did a movie called The Prom. And this was something that no other late night show host used to do. No late night show host used to be in movies like this.
No.
So James Corden obviously has made it apparent from early on that he wants to do other things in Hollywood besides this.
Well, I'm just thinking he caught wind of this dude named Adam Banks in Lexington, and he knew it was time to just hit the dusty trail.
James says there's still some other things I would like to do. I would like to try and write. There's some stories I'd like to tell. I'd like to see if I'm capable of it. The fact that it's terrifying is the reason to do it. He's had a lot of success with this show. You have to think about the carpool karaoke.
It's a great one.
Yes, which was when he would just drive around with people like Adele, which had 250 million views on the YouTube platform.
Oh, the Adele one was the best one.
The show, it says here, had far more success on YouTube than on broadcast TV, with segments like Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts and obviously Carpool Karaoke. They would always go insanely viral when he would post something. The landscape of television has changed. It's not like everybody tunes in and sits and watches a broadcast television show. People like to watch highlights. They like to watch clips. Mm-hmm. And the reason for the success of this show that James Corden had was because of his ability to do just that, put out viral videos.
Yeah.
You want your show to be successful, put out little snippets that will go viral. That's why Fallon is successful. And that's unfortunately why people like David Letterman and Jay Leno aren't around anymore. Their time had passed.
Yeah, it's just people can't sit down and be honestly, at 12:30, I'm already asleep. Not that I don't love late night TV. Used to love it when I was younger, but times are changing and we're getting older, and sometimes it's best to be able to just pull up a little 30-second clip and watch it right quick, and then go on about your business, go to sleep.
CBS, they tried to retain James Corden. They offered him a multi-year offer of $40 million.
Gross.
That's a lot of money to turn down. I don't understand people who get a job like this and then give it up. I always feel like they never go on to bigger things. Look at the previous hosts of this show, for instance, that said they wanted to go out and try other things. There was Craig Ferguson.
Oh.
What's he doing now?
Who?
I don't know. Before Craig Ferguson, there was Craig Kilgorn.
Who?
What's he doing now?
Who?
Yeah, it's just like these people, the reason you are famous is because of the show. James Corden, nobody knew who he was before he got this show. Now this show made him, and he's leaving this show that made him behind to go on and do something else. You will become now, James, I predict, a complete nobody. You will completely just dissolve as a public eye figure. You will go from A-list down to the B-list pretty fast. You are the host of a late night television show on broadcast television on CBS. Of course you're A-list. Now you've given that up. Now you're unemployed. So you want to go out and try other things. I mean, good luck with that. I think that was a mistake, but hey, I'll take your job.
Literally, that's all I was going to say is, thank you, James, for moving on over, because here we come.
Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Off the Cuff to take its Song of the Week break. And Amber, I don't know if you're feeling classy, but I want to play a little First Class by Jack Harlow. It is his new #1 single. It hit the #1 charts. This is Jack Harlow's second #1 hit. He had another #1 hit with Nas, but it wasn't his solo song. This is actually a song of his that has hit the charts solo, and he went to #1. And it's called First Class by Jack Harlow. So, ladies and gentlemen, roll down them windows and enjoy. We'll be right back.
I've been throw up the...
If I'm not mistaken, isn't this very similar to the Fergie song?
Yeah, I think it's a sample.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't get how people get away with almost ripping songs from people like that.
I think you just have to contact their, like, I guess their record label, and you just purchase the rights to be able to sample it. I like that version a little bit better, I think, than Fergie's.
Yeah, I do too. But I was listening, or I was scrolling through my phone during the song, and I seen this hilarious story of Drake, who did a great troll to this Instagram fan.
Oh, no.
Who was making fun of his son, who makes fun of kids. And
Instagram trolls.
Yeah, and he basically was just like, your son probably played with ghostwriters. I mean, throwing his son in there.
What's that even mean?
Yeah, I don't understand what that even means. But Drake went on there, and instead of getting heated, instead of getting mad, he went on there and said, I added your girlfriend on Instagram. It looked like that she's probably miserable and needs some excitement in her life.
Oh, my God.
Just think about this. Drake added his girlfriend. You know she accepted the follow.
Oh, absolutely.
And he said it looked like she was miserable and needed some excitement.
Boom.
That's a major boom. I love it.
Yeah. Didn't even have to say too much on that one.
I love it. I mean, that's hilarious. Amber, the Reds, they suck. They're 3-20, the worst team in baseball right now. I can't even begin to talk to you about my disappointment in that.
I can see it in your face.
I mean, this is the time of year to where you shouldn't already feel like your team don't have a chance.
Yeah,
3-20. This is the worst start in the Reds' history. They're the worst team in baseball. Their owners actually threatened to move the team out of Cincinnati.
Where are they going to take it to?
Because they're just mad because the fans are demanding that they sell the team. And they're like, be careful what you wish for. We might just sell the team to somebody who takes it out of here.
Well, bring in somebody here that ain't 3-20 in the first of the season.
Right. And baseball, MLB, will not let that happen. The Reds was the first. I don't know if you know this. They were the first team in Major League Baseball.
That's cool.
They're not going to take it out of Cincinnati.
No.
There's too many passionate fans. The reason you got this many fans upset is because we're passionate.
Exactly. I would embrace my fans. At least they still care.
Yeah. I just don't know if they're going to start winning. I catch myself watching more NBA than baseball, which is terrible because the NBA is, as you know, I've caught it the dark days of the NBA right now. It's terrible to watch. It's not fun. And it's playoff time. And this is usually the time when at least playoff time is interesting.
Yeah.
But it's
So it really hasn't improved from last year, though? Because I feel like you said this last year, too.
Well, I'm saying that it's just there's no defense.
Yeah.
Nobody plays defense. It's all about offense. It's all about being a showboat, how many points you can make. It's not a coincidence that these players go from scoring 10 a game in college to 40 a game in the NBA. That's not because they got better. It's because nobody's guarding them.
Yeah.
And I could go on a whole soapbox on that. But, yeah, instead of watching baseball, I'm watching the playoffs. And I think that the Golden State Warriors are looking like they're primed to win another world championship. But nonetheless, that's what sports is looking like. But, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We still have one more segment to go. And even though it's our last segment, it's going to be a little sad because we're going to be discussing the life, career, legacy, and death of Kentucky legend Naomi Judd. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Mommy's really bowed her heads to pray. Daddy's really never go away. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Last segment of the hour. Iconic country star and one half of the mother-daughter duo, the Judds, Naomi Judd, unfortunately passed away from suicide. That's right. She killed herself at the age of 76 years old due to mental illness. Naomi said at one point in time, she's always been vocal about her depression issues, her mental health issues. She says, nobody can understand it unless you've been there. She says, think of your very worst day of your whole life. Someone passed away. You lost your job. You found out you were being betrayed. Your child had a rare disease. You can take all of those at once and put them together, and that's what depression feels like.
Stand beside each other, come with me.
You know, you got to think this woman here created 2 legendary daughters.
Absolutely.
Her daughter, Winona Judd, is one of the biggest country female selling artists of all time.
Yes.
Her other daughter, Ashley Judd, at one point in time was a huge Hollywood movie star.
And one of the best looking out there.
And a huge UK fan.
She is.
But they're from Ashland, Kentucky. And Naomi, unfortunately, she suffered from depression and mental health issues, and she's never been someone to shy away from it. She has always tried to make more people aware of this. She wrote an article one time, and she said in an article, she said, to understand this issue better, we have to bring the study of suicide into mainstream. She says, we have to put the study of suicide into mainstream neuroscience and treat the condition like every other brain disorder. People who commit suicide are experiencing problems with mood, impulse control, and aggression, all of which involve discrete circuits in the brain that regulate these aspects of human experience. But we still don't understand how these circuits go haywire in the brains of suicide victims. I don't know what causes people, what causes people to commit suicide. I do think it could be wiring in your brain. However, I do also think that it can be just a very rash, impulsive decision that people make. But it is something that can be prevented. Suicide, they say, is one of the only mental, or is actually the easiest mental disorder to prevent.
Yes.
So we need to figure out what is causing it, because it's not a matter of being happy and sad, really, because Naomi on the outside, look at what all she had.
Yeah.
Too many people that are famous commit suicide. Robin Williams, Kate Spade, Naomi Judd, the list goes on and on and on.
And on.
So it's not... It has to be wiring, right? Wiring in the brain, Ember?
I mean, we know about mental, disabilities, that's kind of what I like to call mine, because sometimes when I get in these, cyclic stages, it's debilitating. And you got to think, when you are debilitated in something, you don't really have control. Just like she said in that article, it is about impulse, I think, sometimes when you have no impulsive control because you're so debilitated with this depression, this anxiety, other things do go haywire. You can't run at 100 miles an hour if you only set to go at 50. Your motherboard's going to overload.
Over the decades, the mother-daughter duo, the Judds, everybody knows the Judds. Naomi and 57-year-old Winona earned 14 chart-topping songs, including Mama, He's Crazy, Why Not Me, Turn It Loose, Change of Heart, and Let Me Tell You About Love. They also earned 5 Grammys, 9 CMA Awards, and 7 ACM Awards. The duo, they stopped performing in 1991 when doctors diagnosed Naomi with hepatitis C, which she contracted while working as a nurse. The pair had just appeared on the CMT Music Awards show stage earlier, back in April, where they made their first televised appearance in 20 years.
Wow.
So there you go, folks. A duo that had it all, a woman who seemed like on the outside that she had it all, but she lost her battle to depression. They had her funeral, a memorial, where both daughters kept it short and sweet. Naomi spoke, Ashley spoke, and they talked about the love that Naomi had for her fans, and they were pretty emotional. They were pretty choked up. Do you have a favorite Judd's song?
Oh, now look, I'm a Winona fan. Not that I don't love the Judds. There you go. I used to jam that one.
So Winona went out on her own, didn't she?
She did. She went solo dolo for a while, and she rocked it.
She did.
Yes.
Well, and she was successful.
Yes, she was, absolutely.
A lot of people will leave their duo groups and not have any success. Like Brooks and Dunn. You can't get no better than Ronnie Dunn. And that man went solo, and everybody thought he was cutting dead weight, but he had no real success in his solo act.
Yeah, because you got to play off your partner.
But Winona, she did. She had some success. No one else on earth
could ever hurt me.
Love me. You have to finish the song.
I'm not, no.
I make up words. But yes, I always liked the song that we came into from the Judds. The Whoa, Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. And I like it because I heard this song in the second grade. My teacher, Mrs. Waddles, she wanted us to learn this song because we were doing some type of singing thing for her class. And this is the song we learned to sing. And I was like, man, this makes a lot of sense when I listened to the lyrics of this song, even at that young age.
Yeah.
So the Judds, I've known who the Judds were all my life.
Oh, all our life. I think if you grew up in Eastern Kentucky and you say you don't know the Judds prior to this, you're lying.
You have to be.
Yeah, they were played everywhere.
You have to be. But unfortunately, Naomi Judd has lost her battle to suicide or her battle to depression due to suicide. But very sad, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Judd family. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close out the show with some more Judd music. Why Not Me, which was one of their biggest songs. If you like today's episode of Off the Cuff, you can listen to all of our previous episodes by following us on podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you stream your favorite podcast. You can follow Off the Cuff on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. You can follow me, the host, on social media at The Adam Banks. You can follow the co-host, Amber, on social media at Ambu447. We release new episodes every Thursday from 4 to 5 right here on WLXU 93.9, which means we will be back next Thursday, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Amber Turner. I'm Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. We'll see you next week.